Yo, what's up, guys? NHL DFS coming back with another NHL strategy video. Today, March 6, 2020, we have a 6-game slate. And we have some teams in nice spots. We got some decent implied totals. And we got some pretty soft pricing on some lines that I feel like are underpriced. So let's hop right into this slate. First game on the slate, St. Louis Blues, New Jersey Devils, 3.18 for the Blues, 2.32 for the Devils, Mackenzie Blackwood versus Jordan Binnington. And we're going to start right on the St. Louis side. I have written down here 6 of my favorite stacks that are under $16,000 for the full stack today. And the first one I want to talk about is this top line for the St. Louis Blues. They are priced at $14,600, with the most expensive being $4,900 O'Reilly and Schenn. And they're going up against a New Jersey Devils team today. Am I missing something here? This team is extremely underpriced. 14.6, and then which makes it really easy to fit in 5,700 Pietrangelo, which when you do that would put you up to 20.3 for a full line and a defenseman. I'm definitely saying that St. Louis won that that top line with the power play correlation, with a defenseman, with an elite defenseman in there at 5,700, is only 20,000 for a full stack. 20.3, my bad. That's definitely something that I really, really like, and it'll allow you. I'll show my top lineup, whatever. With this O'Reilly Schenn Shorts line, my top lineup is that exactly. O'Reilly Schenn Shorts, and it allows me to also play John Tavares, Patrick Kane, Austin Matthews with Pavel Francouz. Granted, I have 2 cheap defensemen in there, but still, you can get to very, very nice stacks here. You can get to some very nice one-offs as well, playing a good line in O'Reilly, Schenn, and Shorts. So I am definitely going to be getting to them a lot. I don't know why they're so cheap, but I really like them against a New Jersey Devils team that doesn't play great defense. And that also being said, I like Jordan Binnington. Last time he played the Devils, he had a shutout, 17 save shutout, 21 points. So I definitely like the Blues side of this. I would also get to some of the St. Louis too. They have David Perron, and if you want to get to a power play stack at 4,700, once again, below 5K. So you can do a full-on Blue stack. Let's do quick math right here. 14.6 plus 4.7 plus 5.7. So you can easily fit in a 5-player full-on Blues power play stack for $25,000. And then you still have 25 grand for your last 3 players, including a goalie. This team allows you to have amazing builds. I like St. Louis today. They're extremely underpriced. So that St. Louis is my play of the day. Their implied total may not be as high as Chicago here, which is going to garner plenty of ownership, as Toronto, which is going to garner plenty of ownership. But I think the Blues they're going to get a little bit of ownership because they're just so underpriced. And if you're crunching lineups in an optimizer, you're going to get to them. This is definitely something I want to get to tonight. On the New Jersey Devil side, another one of those 6 lineups that are under 16K that I'm looking at is this top line for New Jersey. Palmieri, Hughes, and Hischier. They are 13,000. And if you want to partner that up with Severson for a power play correlated stack, or the power play correlated defender with that top line being on all in the top power play as well, at 17.5, I am totally looking to get to some Severson with New Jersey 1. And obviously everyone likes to look at New Jersey 2. They're cheap. They can allow you to get to crazy good things. You could do New Jersey 2 filler stack. I feel like New Jersey 2 is the filler stack of the night. You can use that to get to Toronto 1, Toronto 2. You can use that to get to Colorado 1. You can use that to get to a little bit of Vegas. So these 2 top lines, though, I think are very underpriced for tonight. Granted, it's going to be a low implied total. It's a slower paced game. But I really like St. Louis 1. That's probably my favorite stack of the night, just because they're so underpriced and they allow you to do so much more of your lineup. And it's only 6 games tonight. On to the second game of the slate, and this could be one of my favorite games on the night, which I know sounds extremely ugly, but Chicago Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings, 3.63 for the Red Wings, 2.87 for the Black. All right, wow. 3.63 for the Blackhawks, 2.87 for the Red Wings. Corey Crawford and Jonathan Bernier projected in goal. One of my top exposed stacks of the night, I think, is going to be this top line for Detroit. They are a little pricey. Mantha is 6'2". That's fine. He was 7-something like a week and a half ago. So they are 17-2 for a top line there. And you can partner that up with a power play correlated Hornrick at 5,000. It's a 22.2 power play stack for Detroit. I actually really like Detroit. They're at home. 2.87 is actually kind of high for the Red Wings for an applied total. And I've learned in the past, generally, if you target against the Blackhawks, most of the times good things will happen. I think this Detroit Red Wings team will probably get some ownership, but I don't think it'll be too high to where I don't want to play them. And on the Chicago side, another one of my 6 lineups under 16,000 that I'm looking to play tonight. And that is the second line at $15,400 to Brindacat and Kane with Dodge. Dodge makes this full line stack affordable. You can get to Patrick Kane. I mean, you can always get to Patrick Kane one-offs. I'll be doing that as well. I believe Patrick Kane, my original crunches, is my top owned player, followed by Ryan O'Reilly. So you can see where I like the Blackhawks tonight too. Patrick Kane's probably my favorite one-off of the night. It's probably my favorite play of the night as just a single player. So I'll be definitely getting to some of this Chicago 2. And I'm actually not getting to much Chicago 1. They just don't project out as well. They're 17,000, so they're not overly priced if you want to get to them. But I would prefer a $2,400 discount going to St. Louis 1 rather than going to Chicago 1. So, and then for defenders, Duncan Keith is always not bad. He's on the top line, top power play. Partner that up with Kane and Brindacat. I'm cool with that. On the Red Wing side, if you're looking at that top line, Hornrick is fine. Biega makes that stack cheaper. He's also on that top line. and he's getting 20 minutes a game. So he's not a terrible play. He just has a lot of empty minutes. So, and then Nemeth is probably my preferred defenseman play on that top pairing with a Detroit 1 stack. On to the next game of the slate. Vegas Golden Knights, Winnipeg Jets. 2.93 for the Knights, 2.57 for the Jets. Marc-Andre Fleury, Connor Hellebuyck. Fleury is confirmed. Hellebuyck is projected. Keep an eye out for the second line. I think it's going to be Stevenson moving up to the Pacioretty-Carlson line. But that's Stastny, Marcia and Smith line is going to stay the same. Actually, it's going to be either Stevenson or Cousins. Just keep an eye out. It might be Cousins because he's the winger. I can go with that. But I've seen Stevenson skate on that top line or that second line before with Pacioretty and what was Stone at the time. But keep an eye out for what Vegas does with this second line, because they could be a pretty nice play tonight. Winnipeg's not the greatest of defensive teams, and these top two lines for Vegas are elite defensively. So I don't know how much Winnipeg I want to get to tonight, but I'm going to be getting to a little bit of Vegas. I just see better spots on the slate with teams like Toronto and Colorado and Chicago and St. Louis. I don't know how much of Vegas Golden Knights I want to get. It's probably a fade Vegas night with that low implied total. On the Winnipeg side, I do have one of my 6 under 16 as a stack in the Winnipeg game. Doesn't mean I want to get to it too much, but it's definitely something as a cheaper stack that I'll get to a little bit of. With that Eakin Lane Ayers line, it is at 13.9, which is pretty cheap for a second line there. It's broken correlation, so I'm not a huge fan of it that way, but it's just a cheap line if you want to get to it. 13.9 is not a terrible price for that line, I don't think. For defensemen on this game, I'll be getting to plenty of Vegas defensemen. Theodore, I really like. I like Martinez, Schmidt. And then on the Winnipeg side, I like Pionk and Morrissey. For that, Pionk more for those top line stacks, which I'll be getting to a little bit from Winnipeg tonight for that top line stack. Not something I want to force, though, because I don't like Connor, Wheeler, and Scheifele going up against whether it's Stevenson, Pacioretty-Carlson, or Stastny, Marchessault-Smith. I don't like the hard lock versus any of those top lines. Those are very good defensive lines. So just something to keep an eye out for there. But I don't think I'm going to get to too much of this game. It's just an ugly game to stack. On to the next game of the slate. Calgary Flames, Arizona Coyotes. 2.53 for the Coyotes, 2.97 for the Flames. Antti Ranta and David Riddick in goal. And I actually, as an underdog, considering they're an underdog, I really like Antti Ranta tonight. He's only 7,200. I feel like the Flames will get off a decent amount of shots tonight. And playing Antti Ranta, he's only a plus 125, so it's not like he's a crazy underdog. Low total implied against him, less than 3 goals. So, Antti Ranta is not a terrible play if you want to get to more expensive stacks, paying down at goalie. I feel like he can be a decent cash option. Even though I prefer like Hellebuyck or Fleury as a cash option, I don't think I'm paying up for Binnington and cash. Maybe Jack Campbell at 8K. Francouz at 7,700. But Antti Raanta at 7,200 is not a terrible play. For the Lions, I feel like it's Arizona one or bust. I like Dvorak and Hall. Keller, if you want, you can leave him off. You can put him on. Either way, top line stacks here, not terrible. 2-man stacks. Yeah, it's only a 6-game slate. I'm not going to be playing many 3-3s. I think I set it for 10% of my lineups are 3-3s. Full line stacks with full line stacks. That's not including any defensemen. But I like Dvorak and Hall being 2-mans. So I'm not opposed to that. So and then for defensemen, it's Ekman Larson with that top line. If I'm getting to any of the second Arizona line, which I think I'm going to get to 3 to 5% of, Osterley, and arguably one of my favorite defensemen on the slate for punt options. He's only 3K, and he gets the 3 block shot bonus 31.8% of the time, which is where he gets all his points here. 7-8, that's not bad for 3,100. 10-9, he had an assist that night though. 6'5", 5'2", 6'7", 7. At 3K, when he's anywhere from 25 to 2,500 to 3K, 7 points, 6 points, stuff like that won't kill you. Great punt option that allow you to spend up in other spots. I like it. I'm going to be getting to a decent amount of him. On the Flame side, I like this top line. Give me Monahan, give me Lindholm, give me Gaudreau. With Giordano, if you want to spend down and not get to Giordano, Brody's not a bad option either. He skates on that top line with them. And then if you want power play correlation, it's Gustafsson for the Flames. So you have 3 different defensemen you can pair with this top line. Power play, Gustafsson. Overall projection, Giordano. Value play, Brody. I like this top Calgary line. They're not the cheapest, but I will get to them a little bit tonight. 2.97 is not a terrible implied total. And Monahan could easily go off. Lindholm could easily go off. Gaudreau. It's always an option. And I think they're not going to be high owned, considering all the other teams on the slates like Toronto and Colorado, Chicago, even Vegas will garner some ownership away from them. Maybe even Detroit would, and the Blues. So if you want a low-owned stack, the Calgary Flames top line is not a bad one to go to. On to the final 2 games of the night. 10 o'clock games here. Toronto Maple Leafs, Anaheim Ducks, 3.63 for the Leafs, 2.87 for the Ducks. Jack Campbell, John Gibson in net. If you want someone who's going to get plenty of volume that will get scored on, though, John Gibson, I would prefer Antti Raanta for $100 more. But if we look on this side, once again, I'm going to give you the same bullshit that I do every single time with Toronto. I'm getting to more of this Tavares, Nylander, Kerfoot line, and actually, that being said, Toronto 2 is actually my 5th one. The 5th line I'm bringing up for my 6 under 16. They are 15-7. They are the most expensive line on this list, but they will. And with Tavares, Nylander, and Kerfoot makes that line affordable, 3,300. I really like getting to this line. I will probably get to 10% of this line, maybe like 8% of that top line, but this Tavares, Nylander, Kerfoot line, they always have way less ownership than that Marner, Tavares, and Hyman line. That being said, I'm getting to more of them. I like also power play stacks for Toronto with Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Nylander. Tyson Berry is always an option for that top stack, or the top 2 lines, actually. That being said, because the power play correlation. With that second line, if you want to go cheaper, Justin Holl is always an option. He's getting 25, 22, 21, 25, 23 minutes a game. So just something to look at here. You don't have to go to Tyson Barrie. If you want to play that top line and need some salary relief, Marinson, he's not getting crazy minutes, but he's only 2,600. He's scoring decent points. He is on somewhat of a hot streak. He's playing the Ducks, so I'm not opposed to getting some Ranson, some Hull, a little bit of Dermott, and then of course Tyson Barrie. On the Ducks side, I like Anaheim 1, and they are the final team of my 6 under 16. If you guys like this 6 under 16, let me know, and I'll continue to do that as like a mini series inside my strategy videos. Or I may do those as separate videos. I don't know yet. I may do top 5 stack videos as separate videos, but this is just breaking down the whole slate. Milano, Getzlaf, and Heinen is not a terrible stack. Heinen makes this affordable. You can leave him off and just play Getzlaf and Milano with Raquel and Sulferson for a power play stack. You know that, and then Delzato is only 3,700, so that's an easy full power play stack you can run. You know Toronto's defense is absolutely terrible right now. Their forwards are extremely salary-wise, like real-life-wise, expensive, so they had to basically pay down a defenseman. That's why this Toronto team is a terrible defensive team. So I always like targeting against Toronto. Even game stacks are not bad either, because Toronto is a very good offensive team. I consider them an offensive juggernaut in this league, so I definitely like them. Jack Campbell is not a bad option at 8K. He is a pretty massive favorite at minus 165. He'll probably get some decent volume because this defense sucks, and the Ducks will get plenty of shots. The only thing that depends with Jack Campbell is if he's able to stop those shots, because he's not the greatest of goalies, but I will probably get to around 10% of him tonight. Probably mostly with my Toronto stacks. But 6 games it's a medium slate, so I don't feel like I have to correlate goalies all the time. I can try to shoot for trying to find out of the 12 goalies which one's going to be the highest scoring. But definitely something I like here is Jack Campbell with a terrible defense. Probably going to see plenty of shot volume. And on to the final game of the night. Colorado Avalanche, Vancouver Canucks, 3.14 for the Avalanche, 2.86 for the Canucks. Pavel Francouz, Thatcher Demko in net. And once again, Colorado, you're going to play that top line. Namsukov, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but he is a nice value at 3,900, skating with Landeskog McKinnon. I like that top line stack. I don't think I have to go too in depth on that top Colorado line. We all know it's good. Nathan McKinnon, we all know he's good. You can play him as a one-off. You can play him as a full line stack. You can play him as a 2-man stack. Landeskog and McKinnon. You can even play him with like a Sam Girard as a 2-man defenseman and forward, if you so please. You can play McKinnon however you want to play McKinnon. He is 8,700, so keep that in mind. I prefer, he's up here, 7,700. I'd prefer paying down $1,000 for Patrick Kane. Granted, Kane's a wing and McKinnon is a center, but I prefer paying down for him tonight. I prefer Austin Matthews against the Ducks. So McKinnon's not my favorite pay-up option. Vancouver is a decent defensive team. Unfortunately, they do not have Markstrom, which is a much better defensive goalie than Demko is. But it's just McKinnon. I'm not saying McKinnon's a bad play. He's not top of my list tonight. On the Vancouver side, my favorite line is that second line, Peterson, Toffoli, and Miller. You can partner that up with Hughes, Edler, Stetcher, Tanev, whatever you want to partner it up with. They will probably all get some type of exposure to that second line. Quinn Hughes is probably the best play out of them, 4,900 power play correlation. So just something I would take a look at there. As for goalies on the slate, I like Jack Campbell, Francos, not a bad option. Pay down option, Antti Ranta's not terrible. Cash option, Marc-Andre Fleury, he's got the low implied total against him, along with Mackenzie Blackwood if you want to pay up at goalie. I mean, Jordan Binnington, not Mackenzie Blackwood. Wow. Don't play Blackwood. But that is going to do it for this video, and thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to be the top scoring stack of the night, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.